Yeah, this is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go!
All right, guys, we love meeting humans that we think have a superpower.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And that's exactly what Henry does. Henry, hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
Henry.
Henry. Now, we've read articles about you over the last week or so, and they are unbelievable. Will you tell everybody the condition that you have and what it means?
So I've got something called lexical gustatory synesthesia, or as most people would have probably heard it, just synesthesia. And with my one specifically, I can basically taste, feel, and smell words, especially names. Names being the strongest ones. So I get certain sensations. I mean, you guys, Sean is
Yes.
like, Sean smells like shaving foam.
Isn't that really, Henry?
There's irony there.
Yeah, I barely shave.
Sean hardly ever shows. He's barely gotten through puberty.
Okay, so while we're on a roll, can you give us a rundown of Natalie?
Natalie's, it's not nice. It's like wooden splinters in my mouth.
So that's Natalie. Is it different if it's just Nat?
Yeah, completely different. That's like the sensation of being bitten on the arm by an insect.
Well, to be honest, they both track.
That's very interesting.
All right, so what's Nathan then?
So best way to describe it, when you go to a gift shop and you buy something quite like delicate, like a vase,
Yes.
and they use that like crinkly grey wrapping tissue to wrap it.
Yes.
That's what Nathan is. Nathan's like crinkly grey wrapping tissue.
So specifically grey wrapping tissue? Like is
Yeah,
that the...
yeah, definitely specifically grey.
It's definitely, so it's not brown, it's not beige, it's definitely
No,
grey.
definitely grey.
That's
Nathan's
amazing.
So is that
'Cause it's
like,
so specific.
It's like tissue paper sort of
Yes.
thing. Is
Yeah,
that- is
yeah,
that what it
yeah.
is?
But grey tissue.
Grey
Yeah.
tissue paper wrapped around a vase.
So for Henry, for everybody, it's like a... I'm not sure if the right word is mix-up of your senses, but it's senses adding to each other. Is that what it is?
Yeah, so I experience senses through other senses. Other people have different types, like there's colour grapheme
Yes.
synesthesia, where names and words will have just certain colours and that's it. Some people see like the days of the week as certain shapes. It's crazy. Everyone has sort of it very differently. But yeah, with me, it's very much smelling, tasting and feeling names.
And you didn't realise you were any different until what year was that when you realised?
It was, well, I mean, I've had it from as
Yes,
young
but
as I
until
can
you
remember.
realised that you were different to other people.
It was sort of when I was about 10 or 11. And it was actually a sort of, like in school you have like a parents' evening where the parents come in and talk to the teachers. They basically talked about how the teacher had heard me say certain things like, "Oh, I don't want to play with you, Fergus. Your name's too itchy." Or, I'd pick and choose. I'd pick and choose my friends,
Of course.
and who I hanged out with at break time on how nice their name was. And like there was a Martin, and I used to always love hanging out with Martin because Martin tastes like Smarties.
Yes, that makes sense.
So
Yes.
yeah. And the teacher obviously picked up on this. I mean, at that age, I kind of just thought everyone had it.
Yes.
Like,
Well, you would. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I couldn't conceive how no one else could understand how Martin tastes like Smarties. So, yeah, and then my mum had heard me, obviously, my mum had heard me saying to my cousin called Emily, basically in the UK, we've got like this sort of pudding called Strawberry Angel Delight. I don't know if you have that in Australia, but
Doesn't
the
ring a
name
bell.
Emily tastes.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like a strawberry sort of yogurt pudding sort of thing, and the name Emily always tasted like that. And my cousin was called Emily, and one time we were sat eating it, and I remember going to her and saying, "Oh, you must really like this because this tastes like Emily."
This tastes like Emily.
And everybody looks at one another.
About your cousin.
Yeah.
That's so seedy. Hey Henry, we're having a good laugh about
Yes.
these things, obviously, and we, as Nathan said, we see it as a superpower. But what's the downfall of all this for you?
When normally I can sort of tune it out. It's kind of it's background noise,
Yep.
and it's always just kind of there. And I've learned to tune it out because it's just so normal. So it's not intrusive most of the time. But when I have worked in shops before and I work in a bar now, which that includes having to ID people. And obviously when you ID people, you check, sometimes I'll be like, oh, can I see your ID? So I'll check it and I'll do a little face like this. Ugh. And they're like, what? you think I look ugly in the They're like, you think I look ugly in my picture?
No, your name tastes gross.
Yeah, your name tastes gross.
Isn't that funny?
Your name tastes
Which might be
gross.
just as offensive, but
Yes.
but yeah, I could ID someone and it could be a thick slice of brown bread, then I ID them and it's a fat squash marshmallow, and it's just that can be quite, actually, it's not really a downfall because most of the time I actually enjoy it. It's quite fun. It
Yes.
adds like a fun element
It's great.
to life. I think I'd be really bored without it.
Yeah, right.
Henry, I want to know, so the most offensive female name that you've come across is what?
That would be Kirsty.
You can't even, it hurts you to say it, doesn't it?
And Kirsty is...
Don't say it.
Is what? What's that?
Stop saying it.
what's that experience?
It's, sorry to be crass, but it is a faint, murky smell of urine. And I've offended girls with that name in life because they're not very happy with what it is. But,
you wouldn't be. You
How
wouldn't be.
specific is it?
So Henry, I want to know, are you single right now or you got a girlfriend?
I'm single right now. I've actually had 2 girlfriends, both called Francesca, because that's one of my favourite names ever. It's Francesca tastes like sort of creamy, chocolatey frappuccino filling every crevice of my mouth.
Oh, wow.
Oh, okay.
I love how you add every crevice of your mouth.
Yes.
Yeah, because like when I say it like Francesca, I can sort of just taste it everywhere in my mouth.
Yeah.
The very sides of the back of my teeth. And yeah, I've had literally 2 girlfriends, both called Francesca, and it's a very, very, very important thing. I'd never date someone with a name that wasn't good. It's a big percentage of my
But Henry,
sort of preference.
but you can't help who you fall in love with. So what if you were to meet the girl of your dreams? She ticks every box. She makes you feel alive, and her name is Kirsty. What
Do
happens?
you just call her
I
babe?
think it'd happen.
What would happen?
It would be devastating because I just don't think I could. You say tick every box, but there would be a...
That's not ticking every box. Yeah.
Would you go as far as to have the conversation with her? Can I call you something else, or could you change your name? I'm not expecting that she would.
I don't think I'm going to ask someone to change the name because it smells bad for me.
Because once you've known the name, you couldn't get past it.
Yeah,
you couldn't
because
see
you're going to experience it every time.
So if you knew that her name was Kirsty, but she changed it to Francesca, say, then
that would be great because then I can just call her Francesca. If I'm hanging out with someone called Kirsty, or another awful one is Elijah.
Yeah.
Because it's like licking an eyeball. And it's like when I'm around people who have those names, I'm kind of, it can be kind of intrusive because I'm sort of, if I'm going to if I'm on shift with someone called Kirsty, I'm sort of, whenever I'm talking to them and associating with them, I'm kind of always sort of getting in my mind the idea of the smell of piss.
So if you were to meet somebody and they say, my name's Kirsty, do you just in your head go, Francesca, to eliminate that feeling?
If they're like, my name's Kirsty, I sort of wince because it's the smell of piss.
I'm sorry we're saying that name so much.
I was just basically... No, it's fine. It's not that bad. It's just
we're not worried about you. We're worried about all the Kirsties who are listening this morning.
Their self-esteem is plummeting.
They're in a car with their kids and they're like, oh.
What about surnames? Do they have an impact on you?
Just as words, they're just slightly less strong because sometimes someone's surname might be unfamiliar. Which means I don't get something as strong, or I might get something vaguely.
Or a first name, surname.
First names are so much stronger.
Well, my first name is Nathan, but my surname is Morris, which can also be a first name. What would Nathan Morris do?
Morris is sort of like, it's wet and meaty. It's very wet and meaty.
No, that tracks.
That's actually on our family crest.
Wet and meaty. What a great...
Yeah.
Hey, Henry, with your superpower, do you get together with other people that you've met over the journey? Have you been to any groups?
I mean, I'm guessing you know me from the article that was written about me, but most people know me for my TikTok. I've got sort of 22,000 followers on there now.
Yeah. Plug your
that's where it
TikTok
started.
also, because I've been on your TikTok and it's fantastic. People can give the request for their names. So what is your TikTok so everyone can know?
Yes, it's at Hen Puffs.
At Hen Puff. All
Hen
right,
Puff, okay.
everybody follow
Okay.
him. It's really funny. All right, keep going, Henry. Sorry.
Since making those TikToks, some people in the comments have been like, "Oh my goodness, I have this too." When that article was written about me, some woman in Scotland got in contact with me, and she was absolutely astonished because some of the things that I said, she gets the exact same thing. Mostly it's different, but some of them she gets almost exactly the same thing.
Wow.
So I have started to talk to people. I have started to talk to people online more. I think Sophie. We both got the same thing for Sophie because Sophie's like a fat squashed marshmallow.
Yes. Yes.
So
I mean, you can see that as a tasty thing, not
I mean,
necessarily a negative.
It's what
Oh no, I
amazes
quite like it.
What amazes me about it, Henry, is the specificity of the feeling.
love
So
it.
it's
Yeah.
not just a marshmallow. It's not like you're tasting a marshmallow. It has to be a fat squashed marshmallow.
Yeah. I mean,
there's no doubt.
Aaron, the name Aaron is a bar of dark chocolate snapped in two. Sometimes there are just random kind of always very specific details to them.
And
I
does
think
it
it's just
go
funny, I
the
guess.
other way? So if you see a fat squashed marshmallow, do you immediately go, "Oh, Sophie"?
No, not really. Doesn't
Okay.
really work
Oh,
like that.
okay.
Interesting.
Sometimes I might be, sometimes I might be sort of, at work. I might get a glass of just water with lots of ice,
Yeah.
and sometimes I can drink it and just nothing happens. But sometimes I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that this tastes like the name Isaac.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
Right.
Because Isaac just
Right.
tastes like a glass of water with ice.
So you
But
wouldn't
it's
come,
not
you wouldn't
like
come
when
over
I
my
drink
house and go, "Oh my God, can I use your toilet? I'm busting for a Kirsty."
No, I wouldn't do that.
It's so
So,
fascinating.
so Henry, on that, and I'm throwing another example, but ice cream, which everyone likes to enjoy, some ice cream, can you, what name goes with that, or it doesn't really come to you unless
Ice
you
cream.
hear the name?
Are you saying what name tastes like ice cream?
Yeah.
Yes,
Because there
like-
is names.
yeah, great.
Isla.
Isla Fisher. She'd love
Yeah,
that.
that tastes like that's a very, very cold name. Normally, the letter I provokes a really cold feeling, but Isla tastes like really, really cold vanilla ice cream.
Okay, yeah, just
there you
plain and
go.
cold, yeah.
You know what? You are so interesting.
Yes, you are,
I
Henry.
really wish you lived in Perth because you'd be one of my best friends.
Just go around ganging up on Kirsty's everywhere.
Imagine the Kirsty's outside of his house. You bastard!
But there'd be a line of Francescas as well.
Yes.
I have had a lot of Kirsty's in my comments.
I bet you have.
They're offended. I think a hate group's starting.
Yes.
Kirsty's united against me.
Well, everybody follow Henry on TikTok at HenPuff. It's absolutely
Henry Puffs?
Yeah, Henry Puffs. His name is.
Yep.
His comedy gold. And thank you so much for speaking to us this morning, mate.
Get on your hen.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
See you,
Henry,
buddy.
thanks,
Bye,
buddy.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.